This RMI questions look simple, but two needles, two NDBs, and one tiny mistake can give you the wrong answer. So let's see we can solve this question or not. So firstly, it is being told that the aircraft is outbound from NDB-Y on a track of 1 to 6 degree magnetic and drift is 14-degree port, which means left. So let's just try to picture this thing out so that we will have the proper idea where our aircraft is. So as you can see, this one is our NDB-Y. Our aircraft is currently present on the track of 1 to 6 degree magnetic with a drift of 14-degree port. That means our aircraft nose is on the right side of the track, which gives us a heading value of 126 plus 14, that is 140 degrees. So first let's just try to solve for NDBY. Our aircraft was on the track of 126 degrees with respect to Y. That means our QDR, that means magnetic bearing from the station, is 126 degrees, and also the QDM which we can calculate, that is QDR plus minus 180 degrees. So that will give us a QDM of 306 degrees, and we had already calculated the aircraft heading as 140 degrees. So coming to the second part of the question, it is saying that a position report is required when crossing a QDR of 22 degrees from NDB Zulu. That means when our aircraft will cross the 22-degree radial of NDB Z, a position report is required to make. So let's just try to picture this thing as well in a such a way that our aircraft should appear on 22-degree radial of NDBZ. Now the question is asking that which of the diagram below represent the RMI at the time of crossing the reporting point. Since we already know the setup of radio magnetic indicator is in a such a way that the top pointer indicates the aircraft magnetic heading, and also the arrow inside the RMI in which the pointer always points towards the QDM and the tail part shows the QDR. Let's just try to implement this thing in our question. Now, since we have two RMI, so there will be two needle calibrated for both the NDB. So for NDB Yankee, our top of the needle should point at QDM, which is 306 degrees, and for NDB Zulu, since we already know we were at the radial of 022 degrees, that means we are having QDM of 202 degrees with respect of NDB Zulu. So the pointer of NDB Zulu will be pointing towards 202 and the tail will be pointing at 022, and since our aircraft is pointing towards a magnetic heading of 140 degrees, so this particular indication will indicate the aircraft magnetic heading, which is 140 degrees. So let's try to see which is the correct option for our case. Option number alpha indicates the magnetic heading of 140 degrees which we are having, so this can be our option. Option number Bravo indicates the magnetic heading of 110 degrees, which cannot be our option. So let's just cross this thing out. Option number Charlie again indicates the magnetic heading of 140 degrees, so still that remains in play. And option number Delta again indicates a magnetic heading of somewhat 110 degrees, so this is also not going to be our option. So in option alpha, one needle is pointing close to 200 degrees, which is correct, and another needle which is pointing somewhere in between 300 degrees and 310 degrees, which is also correct. So option alpha can be our answer, but let's see option number Charlie is our answer or not. So in this we can see one needle is pointing somewhere in between 210 to 200 degrees, which is correct, but on the other hand another needle is pointing somewhere in between 120 to 130 degrees, which is not our case. So option Charlie is also not our answer, and hence we have one correct option, that is option number alpha. So that's how you can solve RMI questions which has two needles. Understand this, once your concept is clear, even the trickiest of the RMI questions become simple. So understand the RMI, don't memorize it, and you will never get these questions wrong in your lifetime. And if you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the Aviation Institute.